How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Fakeaway Friday. And this week is kebab week, so obviously we're going with Doner Kebabs. I'm going to do it a little bit different. So this is just the kebab meat on top of it, like a bowl of salad. I'm going a little bit unhealthy because I'm doing it properly with some flatbreads. I think it'll just make it more proper. So this is all the ingredients to actually make the kebab meat itself. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to chop this onion and get it frying. I finely chopped it, but I'm not being very strict with how finely because it's going into a processor anyway. And now this just needs to be stirred until it's softened and browned for about 12 to 15 minutes. So whilst that's all just frying away, we're just going to lightly beat one egg. There we go. That's all it needs to be, because again, it's going to go in the processor. Right, so the onion mix is now done, so I'm just going to spoon it into here. Yet again, I'm using the incredibly small blender, because I haven't bought a bigger one just yet. So we're going to get that spooned in right now. Okay, so that's all the onion in there now, so I think we should fit everything in okay, I'm hoping anyway. So now we're just going to put the mince in as well. I think just to make sure it's alright, I'm just going to break it up a little bit as well. So for this, you're meant to use 5%. Now, when I went to the shop, they didn't actually have any 5% left. They only had 10 for some reason. So that's what I'm using. It don't really matter. It's not the worst mince you can get. Obviously, it's not the best either. But we'll be alright just today. And as you can see now, it's slowly filling all the way up to the top, which means I'm probably going to be in a bit of trouble. I might just have to blend it down first and try and add the rest in a minute. So I'm going to get a quick blend and we'll see. So it is doing it slowly but surely. Like I say, it does help you have a much bigger one. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the egg in now. Just pretty much for a bit of liquid, just to help it blend up a little bit. And we're slowly getting there now. So, quite funny. I've just burnt out the processor. So the strain of it just killed it. Which I kind of expected, but I thought I could push it past its limit. So we're going old school. We're going to use the hand blender. It's just as good. Although I should probably have done it from the beginning, so I can actually chuck everything into the mix now. So we're going to get on with it. So that's the mix of, well, it didn't really blend much to be honest, but it got all clogged. So, but now we can just add the rest of absolutely everything in. So where's my book? So we need all the herbs in now. So we've already got the egg in, we've got all the mince and the onion. It says 3 cloves of garlic, but I'm using lazy garlic again, so we're just going to get a really generous splodge of that, which I'll say that is about the correct equivalent. And then we're going to add in the mixed herbs, which is 1 tablespoon. So of course I've already mucked that up, but that's fine, so we'll do it like that. That's about right. And then we need, so we've got ginger, which is ½ a teaspoon, which I'm glad there's not much of that going in, because honestly, I'm not a massive fan of it. Smoked paprika, well, it says just paprika, but smoked is always the best one anyway. Gives it more of a, well, that was going to be really stupid to say more of a smoky taste, but like that sweet, sour kind of taste, which I'm obsessed with. Then we need a teaspoon of cumin. Oops. Oh well. Extra flavour. And then cinnamon, which I found quite odd, but it's ½ a teaspoon. Oh, no, that'll do. ½ a teaspoon of cinnamon. And then salt and pepper just to season it. It doesn't say how much you should use that, so it's kind of personal preference. I'm just going to do a little sprinkle of both, like that. So hopefully now, this is going to blend perfectly. Let's try. So let's skip and see what it looks like. Okay, so we're getting there slowly but surely. It's taking some serious like elbow grease, because obviously it's a really thick mix, but it is getting there. So another 10 minutes. Hopefully not that long, but it should be done. Right, so it kind of still a few little pieces of onion, but I'm not right bothered about that. So yeah, I left a few pieces in mainly because I just couldn't be bothered to do too much more blending because it was tiring and a little bit annoying as well because it killed my little blender. But it will be fine. It's, like I say, I don't mind a couple of little bits of onion as a chunk. So the next bit now is, so you need a loaf tin. It's meant to be non-stick. I think it is, but it's also, as you can see, quite old. So I'm just going to get the fry light back out and we're going to give it a real good spray just to ensure that it doesn't stick. So now we just need to spoon the mix in, and this is where we kind of see all underneath to see how well it did blend as well. And to be honest, pretty decent. Like I say, a couple of bits of onion. Other than that, it's alright. So we're just going to smooth it down. It needs to be flat. There we go. So it's a really sticky mix. So I think I did right with the fry light, because that would have been awful to get out. Right, so there we go. So now we're going to cover it with cling film, and it needs to go into the fridge for at least 4 hours or overnight if you can. Now luckily I actually gave myself time this week, and I've actually allowed myself fridge time because I read ahead like you meant to with recipes. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it with some cling film, stick it in the fridge for 4 hours, and I'll see you then. Okay, so I have just got it out of the fridge, sorry, from chilling. So it's done 4 hours exactly, and it's fairly solid. So it's going to go into the oven now. So whilst I'm putting it in the oven, it says to do it for an hour and a half on 160. I'm doing it an hour and a half but on 180, just purely because I'm doing some chips with it as usual, with these like burger nights and kebab things, because chips just goes really good with it, and obviously they need to be on 180. So yeah, an hour and I'll put the chips in and then it should all be done. There we go, the chips are in, 15 minutes and I can turn them, and then another 15 minutes and lot will be done. So I was supposed to put tin foil on it when I put it in the oven originally, so an hour later I've only just realised. So we've got to make a mistake at least once in each episode, haven't we? But it's now got tin foil on for the last half an hour. Fingers crossed everything turns out alright. Okay, so I've just flipped the chips round. So now I'm going to get on to the preparation for everything being done, because it's only got 15 minutes left. So like I said, I've got these little flatbreads. I think they'll be really nice making the kebabs. Obviously they're not massive, so what are we thinking? Maybe two each? Should be. It says 6 on the pack and I've only got 5. Disgusting. 6. I've got 5. The audacity. Anyway, I don't really care. So yeah, I think 2 each should be fine. So now we're going to prepare the salad. So it recommends for this red onion, lettuce, tomatoes and gherkins. Also it says a wedge of lemon to serve with, but when I went Aldi earlier you could only get like a bag of 5 or 6, and I don't need 5 or 6 lemons. So I just didn't buy them because I just didn't see the point. So obviously there's no lemon wedge. But to be honest, when have you ever gone into kebab house and got a lemon wedge with your kebab? So I found it a bit strange anyway. So we're gonna do lettuce. Like I say, I never chop it. I just rip it up. So I think Sophie thinks that's a bit weird when I do that, but I just don't see why not. And then half an onion. We're gonna get that chopped right now. Right, so that's the red onion done. I've just sliced that. I've not like properly chopped it up or anything. And then same with this. Instead of doing it how I have been on the burgers, it recommends doing it more lengthways, so a bit more like that. Ooh, there we go. So Obviously the bigger pieces, obviously, because they're going into, well, I mean, it's meant to be a salad that it's placed onto the top of. Obviously I'm not doing it like that, so I'm going to do 2 or 3 of these, probably 3 of these. So I'll just get them out ready. And then we're going to chop some tomatoes. Now, same rules always when it comes to me doing tomatoes. I'm definitely not having any. I'm really weird. Like, I made a tomato soup, pretty sure that's it, and I did it on this channel actually. And also that's all out of fresh tomatoes, and I absolutely love it. It's one of my favourite things to make. It's very easy and it's really, really good. Yeah, when it comes to eating tomatoes on their own, I can't do it. I think they're awful. I think they're vile things. So I'm just going to do 2 tomatoes, 1 for each of Sophie's kebabs. So that's everything prepared now. So we're just waiting on the food itself to be done, the chips and the kebab meat. I really hope it turns out well. It's my salad, looking really healthy. Well, I mean, to be fair, all of this is healthy. There's not one piece of this that's actually bad for you. I just really hope it tastes nice, and I hope the fact that I managed to balls up again for the 6th week in a row, that I've managed to drop a clanger and not put the tin foil on from the beginning. I really hope that don't affect it massively, but I shouldn't do. Okay, so it went a little bit crispy on top, is what we're gonna go with. That was only because I forgot to put the tin foil on now. So obviously when you watch these, but it's cooked solid, and it's cooked really nicely, to be honest. So what I'm going to quickly do is I'm going to get a little plate that we're going to put it on. Right, so here we go. So what I'm just going to do now is I'm just going to grab a fork that is. Sorry for saying that in my accent. And it says to slice it into small pieces. So you're meant to slice it that way. That's, again, because it's meant to go into a salad. So I'm going to slice it this way. And mainly, I just want to have a look at it. Okay, so it looks okay. I mean, it's cooked. I mean, it doesn't really matter because it's beef anyway, but I mean, should I just give it a try? It's piping hot, so I'm probably going to burn myself. Oh. That tastes okay so far. Hopefully it stays like that. Right, I'm going to get this sliced up. We're going to get it onto the kebabs and we'll have a look then. So I've just got one done, and this is what it's looking like so far. So this is without salad, and it's pretty decent. So it's chopped up nicely, and it's looking kebabish. Obviously, the one big difference is, obviously, other than the fact that it's healthy and not possibly made of people, is that I'm cutting it very thick. Obviously, you get very thin pieces in it when you have a proper kebab. This is not the case with this. Well, that should hopefully make it a bit nicer. I'm trying to cut it as thin as possible, but it's quite difficult to do when you've not got, like, I don't even know what they use, some sort of shear. Right, let's get this one filled up. So that's it. I filled them all up now. Well, they're about half full because obviously the salad needs to go in. And like, we can't really see it. That's how much is left, which is a really decent portion. I'd say there's enough for about another 2, 3, maybe even 4 at a stretch. So it makes loads, which is really good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the salad on, I'm going to get it a bit of mayo on, and I'm going to get all the chips plated up, and we're going to give it a try. So when it comes to having a kebab, you've got to go the proper deal on mayo. It's got to be your proper kebab house mayo. Right, so it's time for the moment of truth to see if this is any good. Right. It's a little bit dry, but that's probably my fault for forgetting to put the tin foil on. The taste is fine. It doesn't taste like your authentic proper kebab, but like I say, this is made out of actual meat and is healthy. So it's not gonna, but it's enjoyable. I definitely would make it again. So far so good with this whole series, really. But yeah. No, that's pretty decent. Nothing really compares to a proper kebab, but if you're on a diet, or just want to make it a bit cheaper, because this obviously is a cheaper alternative as well as healthier, this is definitely okay. So yeah, I think there's a couple more different kebabs coming up now in the series before the burger and kebab night bit part is done. So hopefully I'll see you on that next week. Other than that, subscribe, like, and drop me a comment. Let me know what you think. And see you next time. Bye bye.